thanks for joining me. Andrew Axum with Axum Outdoor Adventures. Today I'm going to make some slingshot bands, and instead of using the taper ruler that I normally use, I'm going to use a template. This is a custom template that I got from Precise Slingshots. You can get templates a lot of different places. I found Precise has a pretty good price on them, especially for custom ones. I got one that's a 22 by 12 millimeter by 140, which comes out to be 5.5 inches, which is what I like to shoot. I ended up putting marks with a Sharpie here at the 5.5 mark so I can see a little easier on the mat here. But there's other measurements on there, so it gives you a few options. But I really like using a template after I have found a taper that I really like. I do enjoy the taper ruler for experimenting and stuff. I have a template I had made here for long draw as well, but haven't used that a whole lot. As you can see, the cover is still on here. There's like a film you'll peel off, and I haven't done that to that yet, but you do want to peel that off because I have found that it interferes a little bit with your cuts. I'm going to go ahead and move the camera over here where you can see what I'm doing a little better. I apologize in advance for the fan noise, but it's terribly hot here. I know that a video of me passing out with heat stroke might actually get a few subscribers, but I don't really want to do it that way. So if you wouldn't mind, go down and hit subscribe, give me a like, all that good stuff. I'll move the camera over here. So I'm going to use some Slingshot 0.5 today, and when I cut open a new roll of Slingshot, I always cut off the end piece there that has the name and throw it back in the bag so that if one of my other band materials come out of the bag or the box there, I know which one this one is. I realize a Sharpie on the outside would do the same thing, but it's just a habit I got into. I'm going to cut 6.5 inches on here, and I'm actually going to use my taper ruler to make this cut. So I'll line that up there at 6.5. Make sure you have a sharp blade. There's my 6.5 inch piece. Roll this back up, stick it in here. And I don't know if this is global warming or what, but I told my wife pretty soon the weather here is going to be like Florida. We already found a house we like, so I guess we don't have to move to Florida now. So, but I'm a glass half full kind of guy, I guess. I'm going to take this 1/2 inch mark, or the mark there where my taper starts, and I'm going to put it on the 1/2 inch mark here so that I end up with a 1/2 inch on either end to connect my pouch and to connect to the frame. You also want to line this up though so that you get the most amount of cuts out of it. And what I mean is you want to line it up so there's a little bit left on this side and on this side, and then you're going to get 4 good sets of bands out of this if everything works out right. So you also want to press hard, and you want to keep track of where you're at, because if you lose track and you go back and you try to make that cut again, inevitably your blade's just going to be a fraction off there, and you're going to end up with little holes along the side of your band. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep this in place as much as you can, and you want to make your cuts. A problem area for me over here is the top left corner. I always have to press a little harder over there, so I'll try not to mess up today, but you may get to see what I'm talking about. Looks pretty decent. So peel the end pieces off there. Got those good. Hopefully all of the cuts were deep enough. So got one good set of bands. Two. This is getting over into that problem area I was talking about. The left side never get good enough. So I'm gonna try to fix that. I'm gonna try not to waste that rubber. I don't know if I can. Let me line. This one I don't know because it's partially cut. I don't think I can fix that. But this one, because it didn't really cut at all. And I think it's the left side over here. I don't know what I need to start doing differently. But maybe turn the whole mat around. I don't know. See if I can save this one. Yeah, and match up perfectly. So we get 3 sets. I don't know that I can save this one, but I'll give it a try. Actually, you know what? Try to make that so you can see in there. I think it worked out okay. I think we saved them. So we got 4 good sets of bands out of using this template. It does take some practice to use a template, as you just saw. It's not perfect every time, and here's a lot of latex that I've wasted recently. I'm going to go back and try to salvage some of it. So we have our 4 band sets now. I'm going to band one of them up with a Wes Mitchell kangaroo pouch. This is actually a 1/4-inch pouch that he made, so you can see the smaller center hole, but I like this one because the pouch itself is still big enough to comfortably shoot 8mm, so it's a little more versatile for me. I haven't actually ever tried shooting BBs in it, but I guess you probably could. So I take one of these things that I seem to have laying around everywhere. You get those from Precise and a lot of companies when you order band stuff. And I use a 1/2 inch here. So I go about to the 1/2 inch mark there. If I'm using lighter band material, sometimes I'll make a mark, but you can't really see it on the black. So I just try to eyeball it there, and I hold that down. And just kind of try to pull it through right there at the 1/2 inch and get my sort of V shape there. And sort of just line it up like I want it. Fold that V shape over, and I slip it on the jig here. Now the bad thing about this jig with these smaller center hole pouches, I kind of have to force it down on there, and it stretches it out a little bit, but I try not to too much. Then I place it in the jig there. Now I use crystal string, so I cut off, I don't know, 5-6 inch piece. Make sure your scissors are sharp. It keeps it from fraying and stuff. And then I try to go, I don't know, about halfway, maybe a little closer to the pouch than halfway. And I just wrap it 4.5 times, I guess, technically, but I count 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I just put 5 regular box knots, I think they're called. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Cut it, but don't cut it so close to the string that you get into the knots, because I've done that plenty of times. Cut it a little bit out. Flip it around and do the same thing on the other side. Now you do want your tabs to be towards whatever side's going to be out on your band. I fold mine in a V shape, and I generally fold it going down, so it makes a sort of a, I guess not a V, really a I should be saying. I have actually shot them that way plenty of times, and they shoot okay that way, but I do them both ways. Generally, I do that, and then you're going to cut enough off there to leave about a scissors width on the blade there of excess rubber. You don't want to cut it flush. Learned that scissor length trick from Mikey Paul Reddick on one of his videos, who I believe he said he heard it from ATO, so thanks to both of them for that bit of knowledge. But yeah, it works out well. Just do about a scissors width there of your tab. I'm not going to band up all four band sets and bore you with that, so don't worry. Make sure whatever direction you get your V or your A or whatever going, it's the same on both bands, because I've done that before too, where you get one that way and one that way, and that's no good. If it's stupid, I've done it at least once. You have to count 4. Again, don't cut too far down. You'll get into your knots, and the whole thing will come spranging out. You can go about that scissors length there, so. We have a pretty good looking band set, if I might say so myself. You know, I just do the 5 loops and the 5 knots, and I've never had a problem with it coming out. I know guys have all kinds of fancy ways they do it. That works well for me. So in a nutshell, that is cutting your Slingshot bands using a template. You can get a pretty affordable template from Precise, especially if you want to get a custom one made. I feel like I got a pretty nice looking set of simple shot bands out of that, if I do say so myself. I realize this isn't rocket science, but after I started hanging around other slingshotters, going over and hanging out with Joe Stokes and Dave Longworth and all my buddies over there, I realized that you can pick a lot up by seeing how other people do things. And if I can show somebody something simple, how to avoid some of the mistakes that I made and obviously still make, then, you know, good, because I'm all about saving money, and if I can help you not waste rubber, then I want to do that. And I actually realized watching the video of myself, one of the things I'm doing wrong is tilting my wrist back too far. When I'm on that far left side, I need to keep the blade more straight up and down, and that's the first time I'd ever recorded myself doing that. So this video has already helped me. Hope it helps you. Hey, if it does help you and you've enjoyed this video or any of my videos, don't forget to go down and hit subscribe. Remember to give me a like. It helps with the algorithms and all that stuff. and it'll help make sure my pretty face shows up in your YouTube feed more. Thanks for watching.